Okay, so while the paint's drying, I'm going to start to clean the circuit board. I got some isopropyl alcohol, 99%, and just some Q-tips. And I'm gonna start on the back side here, and I'll just start from one side and work my way. See here, position the camera, work my way down. So I already cleaned on this side, so I'm just gonna hop over one. I did a little test over there not too long ago. That's just from just a little bit of cleaning. Pretty filthy. All right. And goal is here just to clean off as much of the dirt as possible and get this thing as clean as possible. All right. These things tear apart pretty quickly. They also get very dirty very fast. So I actually got some more of these stands, and these are just completely busted. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this stand out, and we'll be replacing those anyways. All right. Look at that, that's just utterly filthy. And we'll just go down here. And now I wondered what this cable was. It looked really sloppy, and I just thought, no, that can't be standard for Moog, but I actually looked in the service manual, and it is. So I'm gonna just say that that's not their most elegant solution, but whatever. And I've seen some photos of other people's keyboards as well, and it looks like they all have the same. I think I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and I got some zip tie stays with little sticky feet. So I'm gonna hopefully clean it up a little bit and just stick it onto the keyboard stand with some zip ties and those 3M sticky stays, just so it looks a little bit nicer and cleaner under there. If I'm doing all this work, I might as well make it as nice as possible. There's another Q-tip gone. I'm gonna go grab a whole bunch more. Oh, there's some more right here. All right, so just continuing to go over this. Even there, I just went over where I'd already cleaned and still getting dirt off. This thing is just utterly filthy. So here's another one of these stands, just broke off. Now I pulled off the base. But the idea is to get as much of this grime off. And we'll just keep going through this. All right, so that is that side. Now we got a lot more to clean on the other side. I'm gonna actually flip it around. And I'm gonna start with this connector right here. As you can see, it's really, really dirty. I think this was the side near the LHC, so maybe just a lot of hand movement over it over the years. Looks like some sort of, adhesive maybe on there. Not entirely sure. But I think that is not coming off, so I'll just clean the stems here, and then we'll put some deoxide on it at some point once I get all this done. This is quite a bit cleaner, it looks like. That's good. And then try to bend this over, clean on top. I don't know if y'all can see that. Clean all of the pins out. There we go, they're starting to shine again a little bit. Oop. Just make sure I get enough on there. There we go. Great. And that just came right off. Cool. Whatever that was. Hopefully it wasn't important. There is a hole in there, so maybe it was, well, there's one on the other side. Never mind. I was thinking maybe it was blocking it, but there's nothing on the other side, so looks like something just spilled. All right, there's that. I'm gonna start trying to clean these wires as well. They are very dirty. There we go. That's bringing them back to life. I tried earlier with some lighter fluid, but this alcohol is honestly working much better. So I'll just keep cleaning on these. Let me slide this down just a little bit more. There we go. Well, it looks like whatever this cable was, it's not connected to anything, so I will be able to clean that one very easily. All right. A lot of the luster's being brought back on these cables, which is great. Love being able to save the originals, saves me time, plus they're the originals. All right. So as for cleaning this, I think we're done. And then we'll start to clean this little mount. It is also very filthy, as you'd expect, since everything else is. And I'm just cleaning underneath the bus bars best I can. Great. I'm cleaning on the other side, just back behind it. Great, now I'm just gonna clean this plastic off. I'm not expecting this to be perfect because I can't really bleach it or scrub it. So I'm just gonna get all the dirt off that'll come off with basically 100% isopropyl alcohol, and then whatever doesn't come off, I'm assuming, isn't going anywhere anyways. All right, I'm just gonna clean the side of this board here, since this was the really dirty side. Let's see, sides of these feet. There we go, just clean on top. Make sure that these aren't getting hurt. I think it's okay. Now, I'm just gonna rotate this a little bit there. I'm gonna use Q-tips and we're gonna start cleaning. Oh, let me finish cleaning this cable, I guess, too. Even though it's brown, it does deserve to be cleaned. I'm just cleaning around these springs so I don't damage them. I have no desire to break any more of these, they're expensive. And I have some spares to repair a few, but I don't want to have to repair all of them. So, All right, so I'm just gonna keep going down with these Q-tips, cleaning everything. And once I get done, we'll go move on to the next step. Thanks. Okay, update. I've cleaned this off now. Here's all of the Q-tips that I used to clean it. It was a lot. Yeah, the circuit board looks really nice, or nicer. Still some staining here and there. Bottom looks good. I put these and I just kind of twisted them. I'll put some zip ties on them. You still get that one solder joint to repair. Okay, so last bit of keyboard repair. Everything spring-wise seems okay, except for this one right here. It's busted, so I have a replacement spring right there. I made this little, or bought this little tool that was, I'm fairly certain handmade. It's just a piece of wire glued into a dowel. But this is really important because it helps me install the spring. So first step actually is not to pick this one up, but it's to uninstall this existing one. So I got my soldering iron here and I just stick that through the hole. I'm gonna flip it over and then just desolder it right here. Oh, and it didn't seem to work. Maybe I'll just pull on it. That might actually be a little bit easier. There we go. Came right out. So that was the old spring. Pretty damaged. Now I gotta install the new spring. So we're gonna add into view here. Oh. There we go, end of view here, and then I'm gonna I've picked it up on this little tool. That's now installed. It looks like the other spring's fine. So now I'm just gonna stick this back in, but from the opposite side. There we go. And then I just stick it through there, which seems to have worked well. Oh. There we go. I just want to make sure that the spring is soldered on this side, so there we go. Have a little solder, and we'll just solder around this. And pull the I can pull this out. There we go. So I got some contact there, and now I'm just gonna finish the soldering job. Perfect. And now we got a new spring soldered in. I'll just let that cool for 1 second. There we go. Flip it back over. And it seems to be perfect. The only issue, it looks like, is we got a little solder. Oh, never mind, it's not even on there. It's just, it just fell on. Let me just get the, I don't want to scratch any of the gold off, so I'm trying to go just around this little bit of solder, but I don't know if I can get it. Let me see if I can just, there we go, with my finger, perfect. So that's now repaired and works fine. I'm gonna see if there are any other damaged springs on here, but it looks like they're actually outside of that one I just removed. Okay, actually, now that I'm looking at them, I see one other really damaged one over here. Let me see what's going on with this one. Some of these springs are bent. Trying to assess just how badly, or if they're repairable, sorry. They're irreparable. Yeah, this one looks pretty bent up. And then there's one really bad repair job over here, so I'm actually gonna, let's see, I think it's this one. Let's look at the front springs. Yeah, they actually mostly all look okay, except for, now, see this one? You can actually see the, oh, sorry. So this one has been soldered, but it's like unmovable almost. But it looks like original solder, so I don't know if that's maybe just how some of them got soldered on, or if this one was, I don't know, I guess just repaired a really long time ago. That'd be hard for me to believe though. That one seemed like it wouldn't work, so I'll repair that. All the other ones seem to be okay. I guess when I look back over here, if you can see on this one, there's a big glob of solder, but I don't know. I'll repair that one as well. Everything else seems to be okay, so let's just get going and make these last few repairs, and then we can get everything done. Oh, I forgot actually. I need to get it out of this here, so I'm just gonna push and pull. There we go, until I get the spring completely out, and it looks like it is. Just make sure, I'll clean it out with this. Cool. Yeah, everything's out there. And now I will just pull on the spring to get it out. It looks like there's still just a little bit left, so let me just get some solder here, or the soldering iron here, and I can just pull and it'll fall right out. There we go. There it is. Not the most elegant, but it does work. All right, so now looks like I got another drip here. Came right off, no problem. Let me get my springs. All right, so now I got that. Let me just get this spring. Here's the one that's missing. So we will just reinsert it. There we go. And I'll do the same thing I did before, just put a little solder on there to get it to stick. There we go. And now that's dried, so I should be able to take this off. There's our new spring. Then I'll just insert this tool into the spring bar. Just press down to stick this. Perfect, and I just pulled a little too far, so I'll just push. And there we go. A nice spring, nicely installed. And now I'll just flip it back over and finish the soldering. There we go. Now it's nice and soldered in, hardened. And there we go. Another one repaired. Like I said, there's just a few that are kind of funky. Here's one that's kind of bent over. I'm just gonna see if I can't push this tool in and just straighten it out. Let's see what's going on here. There is, this one seems okay. I guess this one is as well. I guess it just seems bent over a little bit. Maybe I can grab these and just very gently bend it. There we go. Well, that worked pretty well. Okay, so I guess these are all doing pretty well. Actually, let's see this one that was just bent over right here. That was a little oversoldered. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, and honestly, I can just bend it with my pliers very delicately. So that worked. Yeah, everything else appears spring-wise to be in working order. Maybe not perfect, and I can always make these adjustments after the fact. Here's one that I can straighten out just a little bit. Another one that I can bend over just a little bit. And then straighten, there we go. This one, there we go. There's a little fuzz from the Q-tip right here. I think I can just pull it off with these. There we go. And actually, I think, oh, here's another one. This might actually work. So I don't know if I need to do any more repairs. I'm gonna leave it as is and we'll just do a quick clean and I think we'll actually be okay. Now that we're done repairing any broken springs, we're gonna start cleaning. For that I have Deoxit Gold GL100 in a dropper and in a brush. And that is just gonna help the contacts make better contact. And then to clean, I have Deoxit D100 in a dropper and in a paintbrush application bottle. I also have the sprays, but they're actually less potent, so these are a little bit stronger, and I think we'll start using these just to see if we can't clean a little bit better with them. So I'm thinking this probably for the bus bars, and then this for the springs. A drop of this in the spring, and then this on the bus bar, and we'll just slowly make our way down this board until everything's clean. All right. All right, so it looks like there's actually still some residue. So what I'm gonna do is get a Q-tip and then wipe off the D100. All right, let's see if we can get these just a little bit cleaner. There's a lot of residue on them. And sure enough, that's all coming off with the D100. So I will continue to apply D100 and then wipe it off with these Q-tips. All right, so if you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but that is quite a bit cleaner. And now we'll go into the springs and I'll just put this drop of D100 on it. All right, and then we'll go in with a Q-tip. I also noticed this spring back here is a little funky, so I'm just gonna see if I can't straighten it back. Let's see. I don't know if you can tell, but the spring is just really bent up. Let me see if I can't get it here, and if not, then we'll just replace it. All right, so it looks like I can't. I'll turn on my soldering iron, and then we'll replace it here in a second. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna wipe off these springs. So I'm gonna go ahead and then repair this spring that didn't seem to be working correctly. And to do that, I'm just gonna press it out of this best I can. I don't wanna damage the front spring because it's in good shape. There's just a little bit left up here, so there we go. That's now cleared out. I'm gonna pull on this up, and that broke on accident. Let's see. Oh. Camera foul. Let me see, there we go. And then I'll just grab in here. There we go. And I'll get my soldering iron, flip this over, and then just pull this out. There we go, that came right out. Next, I'll get one spring. Only one. You really shouldn't touch these as you can really damage the finish on them. So I try not to as best I can. All right. Here's this new spring. And I will just stick it into this hole. There we go. Now it's pressed in. I got it sticking out of that hole. And just like all the other ones, I grab my solder. Just warm it up a little bit so it sticks. But I don't want to solder like this wire on or anything crazy. There we go. Now that that's on, I just flip it back over, pull this out, and then I'm just gonna reinsert this tool into the spring very gently. Great. And then I just press there we go. That's now installed. Flip this over and we'll finish soldering this in. It looks like there's actually a little bit of broken solder here, so I will just repair that. And that all looks good. So I'll flip this back over now, and we'll just continue cleaning. Now that all of this has been cleaned, and look, it's kind of leaning forward a little bit actually, so let me just push this down just a bit further. Just cleaning off some of these broken springs. All right, now we will put some contact preserver on this. So I'm just gonna drop this actually in this hole if I can and let it drain down, and then all around here. All right, there we go. Now I will get this one and we will just brush it on the rest, and then make sure we wipe around what we overdid. There we go. And then just to clean up after ourselves, I have a cotton swab and I'll just wipe some stuff off just to make sure that we don't have a bunch of grease everywhere. All right, now these should be all set to go, at least to install and then start to calibrate. And I'm just gonna do the next few sections the same way, and then we will be ready to install the PCB onto the rest of the keyboard assembly. All right, so on this one, I'm actually gonna remove some of the solder because it was so bad. And if you've never seen that before, this is a solder remover, just a little vacuum basically. You just heat up the solder that was there and then immediately use this and it sucks it out like that and makes it nice and clean. So we've cleaned that out now and I will install a new spring. All right, so everything on this board now is cleaned with the Deoxit D100L, and then everything has been then coated in this really great kind of gold contact solution, Deoxit Gold. So this is actually ready to install back onto the keyboard base. So I'm going to bring that over and then we're going to install it and be able to move on to the last step, which is just key faces.